Good morning. These are your Nassau Guardian highlights for Tuesday, February 10th, 2026, brought to you by your Daily Bahamas headlines, especially for people on the go and those who are visually impaired. The lead story focuses on Prime Minister Philip Davis, striking a defiant political tone as the Progressive Liberal Party prepares to officially launch its election campaign next week. Speaking at the PLP's ratification rally, the Prime Minister said the country cannot afford to return to what he described as confusion and petty politics, warning supporters not to become complacent. He urged candidates and party branches to intensify grassroots work, saying elections are won on doorsteps, not at rallies. Davis also took aim at the Free National Movement leadership, arguing that pettiness blocks progress and that the PLP must remain united and disciplined heading into the campaign. Also making front-page news, Prime Minister Davis sought to reassure healthcare workers following recent sick-outs by nurses over unpaid overtime. He told supporters that healthcare workers can trust his government and promised they would not be taken for granted. Davis pledged continued engagement with unions and acknowledged the strain facing hospitals and clinics, saying his administration would continue investing in better conditions for staff and better care for patients. The comments come amid ongoing concerns about staffing shortages and working conditions at Princess Margaret Hospital. In political developments, veteran trade unionist Nicole Martin was sworn in as a senator, filling the vacancy left by Maxine Seymour. Martin described the appointment as both an honor and a responsibility and rejected suggestions that her appointment was symbolic. Opposition leader Michael Pintard welcomed her to the Senate, saying her voice would help disrupt the status quo and strengthen the party's mission. Another major story involves a Bahamian man, Ira Roker, who is currently serving an 18-month sentence in the United States for human smuggling. Roker has applied to U.S. President Donald Trump for clemency after being convicted of assisting migrants to enter the U.S. illegally. Court documents detail how he was intercepted at sea with 9 foreign nationals on board during a smuggling operation. On national news pages, the parliamentary commissioner says biometric voter cards are expected to be ready by the end of the month. Officials stress that existing purple voter cards will still be valid for the upcoming general election, but voters who have moved must update their registration. The announcement follows concerns raised after low voter turnout in the Golden Isles by-election. Former Health Minister Dr. Dwayne Sands is also making headlines after sharply criticizing the government's plan to build a new specialty hospital, calling it a dumb idea. Sands argued that priority should instead be given to fixing long-standing problems at Princess Margaret Hospital, including unpaid vendors, equipment shortages, and overcrowding, issues he said are already placing patients at risk. In court news, jurors heard closing arguments in the trial of a man accused of a fatal car wash shooting, with the defense attacking the police investigation as sloppy and incomplete. In a separate case, a mistrial was declared in the trial of a man accused of sexually assaulting a 9-year-old girl, with a retrial scheduled for May. The Guardian's editorial addresses the fallout from the release of new Epstein-related files. It cautions against rushing to judgment simply because individuals are mentioned in investigative documents, warning that innocent people can become collateral damage in highly charged scandals. The editorial stresses the importance of context, due process, and resisting misinformation, especially in a small society like the Bahamas. Letters to the editor focus heavily on governance and integrity. One letter argues that corruption should not be measured only by international rankings, but by how institutions actually function for ordinary Bahamians. Another letter reflects on the Bahamas' delicate position between global powers, urging careful diplomacy as the country navigates relations with both the United States and China. On a more positive note, the paper highlights youth development efforts as the government marks the 14th anniversary of the Youth Empowerment Program. Officials say expanded training and skills initiatives are helping young people turn passion into purpose, with programs reaching thousands of students across multiple islands. That's a look at what's making news in today's Nassau Guardian. This has been your Daily Bahamas Headlines. Stay informed, stay engaged, and have a blessed day.